Heyo, Plaid Man here. So I wasn't gonna make a video, and then my lady was like, but I didn't get a video today, so hello. In her defense, she didn't say it that way. I'm just being silly. And I should have adjusted before. To be fair, I'm still working on the technical things of where, when, how, all these things, but I should have done a video. I allowed life to interfere, so oopses. But anyways, we're making a video. Cool. Today's video is about the Elvis movie. The Elvis movie. I'm on sugar. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Anyways, that guy. If I'm being transparent and totally honest, I know of Elvis as an iconic figure, but I didn't really listen to his music. Now, I did listen to some, like, before watching the movie, and I have heard his music before, but to call myself a fan would be really disingenuous. And that's my dad. So, not a fan of Elvis. Not that he's bad, but just not like in love. And it was very fascinating. I was actually on a road trip with my lady coming down from Washington to California, and we were excited about watching the movie. We didn't end up watching it then, but I found some of the songs that they did and some Elvis songs, and I got an affection. I was infected. No, but I found that he's a wonderful artist, and just some of his songs are effing phenomenal. Like, just phenomenal. Like, drop you down to this level and this harmonic, and you're just like, holy moly, what you did was art. Not all of his songs, but there are several of his songs that just hit you right in that moment. And I hearken back to hearing about women who are like, yeah, no, they just listen to Elvis all day and yada, yada, yada. And I get it. I understand. Like, he communicated to a certain generation, and I think him, the Beatles, and Michael Jackson are the top three performing musicians of all time, period. Like, hard period, exclamation point, that shit. Take it to the bank. So clearly there's something there. Now, for those of you that don't know, this movie was made, as in directed by, the same guy that did Moulin Rouge. His name is Baz Luhrmann. And if you ever saw Moulin Rouge, you know what you're in for. He also did another movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. I can't remember it right now. I'm a horrible person. The annoying thing is I could tell you at any other given day, but in this moment I can't remember it. Anyways, and that movie was like very, like, it was about the 50s. It was very like bam. And Moulin Rouge, for those of you who have seen, is very, I was talking about it today. It's almost like a blown out example, an exaggeration of that moment in time. And that is what I would say is one of the best things and the bad things about Elvis. So Elvis, when you are just dealing with him, and there's like a core component to the story, like when he's just singing, for starters, the main actor, Austin Butler, I believe that's his name, killed it. He just did a terrific job. Just perfect job. Especially Elvis all the way up to, like, I would say the last bit of the movie. The 90% of the movie, I was like, oh my God. He was Elvis. I believed it. And it was one of those things that after watching a movie, I go on IMDb on my phone. I'm like, and I look at like the behind the scenes stuff because my lady loves that stuff. I love that stuff. a great conversation starter because we're like, oh my God, this movie. And then we talk about, oh my God, this happened and this happened and this happened. And it was just, you couldn't help but think and feel like this guy was made to be Elvis in this movie. And he killed it. He just, it was amazing. So I have nothing to say negative about, oh my God, burps galore. I have nothing bad to say about the actor. Because, yeah, now I got hiccups. The actor who played Elvis killed it. What you run into is two things. How the story was told. And when you get into biopics, it's very weird and convoluted, and there's a formula to biopics. And frankly, that formula is a bit tired. So I get a bit annoyed by it. And frankly, Baz Luhrmann did a good job of doing the formula, but like adding his spice. But as anyone who has a mom who makes meals will tell you, that oftentimes the food is great, but you feel like there's just like the wrong spice component, like too much of this, not enough of this, blah, blah, blah. But on the same token, you're not the chef, so you're just eating the food and you're like, I like the food. I do like the food. I just feel like there's like too much of one thing or not enough of another thing. There's like something janky. And frankly, that's how I felt about Elvis. Is the movie was great. I would give generally the movie a 10 out of 10. However, because the acting, especially from the main guy, was perfect. And his supporting cast was perfect. And the story was really solid. But where it kind of run into certain issues was there was certain Baz Luhrmann seasoning that in certain elements was just fantastic. And other elements of it, you were just like, what is it? What is happening? I don't understand. And why? I don't understand. And also why? So that happened. And then lastly, there's this other component, which is Tom Hanks. Now, I haven't done enough movie reviews, and I should perhaps do some more older movie reviews. Tom Hanks is a legend, of course. Everyone knows Tom Hanks. He's a household name. He's phenomenal. I love him in Saving Private Ryan. I love him in Castaway. I love him in so many movies. But what I'm noticing is, especially the last few movies, I feel like he's phoning it in and just like, I'll take the paycheck, $10 million, 2 weeks of work, no problem. Oh, you want me to do an accent? Okay, I could do this accent. Oh, you want me to put on a fat suit? Okay, I'll put on a fat suit. Like, and that's what I felt like with this. And I don't want to slam Tom Hanks because I'm not in his position. I don't know. I don't know what deals went down. I don't know what the conversations were like. But seeing him in there, it was fascinating because when I turned myself off and watching the movie, it's okay. Something feels wrong, and I don't know why, but it's a good movie. I can get into it. But every time that I was glued into the movie, it was because of the guy who played Elvis. And every time I was like taken back a little bit, it was because of Tom Hanks. And this kept happening throughout the movie. And it was just like, what the hell? Like, this is not okay. This is annoying. And I'll give you a terrific example that I think is appropriate. If you watch Straight Outta Compton, okay, which I suggest, terrific movie. But if you watch Straight Outta Compton, it's a relatively similar like biopic of very successful group, horrible individual who is managing them and manage them horribly, right? So classic biopic story. And I will make a separate video about why does this keep happening, but I'm not talking about it right now. But there will be a video about why do artists of note keep getting leeches basically, that leech the life out of them. Anyhow, not for this. But you look at Straight Outta Compton and Elvis, and the key difference, frankly, is because Straight Outta Compton's pretty solid, and their performances are pretty darn good. And the bad guy in that does a good job. He does a bad guy all the time, and he does a really good job. Almost too good, because it's like, you worry about you getting typecast. Anyways, but what's interesting to know is like, okay, why did Tom Hanks have such a ridiculous accent? Why was he in this fat suit? And why, like, it just felt like too much. And frankly, it almost felt like they were trying to make him like the narrator of the entire story. And there is a problem with that. There's a fundamental problem with it. To overly simplify is, if your narrator is an untrustworthy narrator, that's going to cause disruption in your movie. And Tom Hanks was supposedly the narrator of this film, which is weird. And frankly, his character is a very untrustworthy character. Whereas Straight Outta Compton is more of like, you're a fly on the wall. And so it's believed to be kind of like truth, because you're a fly on the wall. Not the main villain is the narrator of the story, which is how Elvis messed up. So it wasn't so much that Tom Hanks ruined the movie, but it did feel kind of like he phoned it in, and it did feel kind of like it didn't really work. But on that note, you can watch it on HBO, Pro, Max, Plus, whatever they call it. I highly suggest it, and it's definitely a worthwhile movie to watch. If nothing else, if you ever listen to, that was my wife, if you ever listen to an Elvis song, you'll enjoy this. Not because it's like, oh, all of Elvis's greatest songs, but I guarantee you there's going to be things in there that you didn't know. And watch the story, and then I promise you, go look at the IMDb afterwards of the movie, and go down to the notes on the behind the scenes, and you'll read some stuff that just makes you super emotional. It did for me. It was amazing to read what the main guy did, and it's fascinating to note that even after he finished filming, he was so into that character that he couldn't help but do the character for the after interviews, because he was so into that accent and into that character of Elvis. Anyways, highly suggest it. Not my best favorite movie of all time, but it's certainly a good watch. Love you all. Talk to you later. 5 minutes out.